Next up will be Daniel Davis.
The first thing I wanted to talk a little bit about was about diplomacy itself. When you're going to engage in any kind of diplomacy, I mean, the first thing you have to do is you have to say, what is our strategic objective? What do we want out of all of this stuff? And I think that very clearly, at least categorically, whether we're talking North Korea or anyone else, it's got to be we want the security of the United States to be ensured and economic prosperity to be facilitated. Unfortunately, one of the negative sides of the results of 9/11 has been that we have militarized our foreign policy. And, you know, President Bush is famous, you're either with us or against us, and, you know, and bring it on and all that kind of thing. And we kind of got into this mindset that started there, and it really has kind of pervaded on autopilot, that we tell people what to do, and we tell our allies what they're going to do, and we try to compel others to do everything that we desire, irrespective of their personal interest or their national interest in it as well. And that just doesn't work very well. It doesn't work very well with your adversaries, and it certainly doesn't work very well even with your allies. Nobody is going to get to that point. No one should expect, and certainly if you put yourself in that position, no one should expect that you're going to give up all of these things without getting something in return. So the idea that Trump is going to go in there and just issue our directives, and that Kim Jong-un is going to say, oh, okay, cool, sure, here's all my nuclear weapons, here's all of my, you know, everything, and we'll send them off to China, and then if it would be all right with you, if you would go ahead and, you know, move the sanctions off afterward, that'd be great. You know, probably not very likely to happen. I do want to point out from a military perspective, what is the alternative here? If we don't go, you know, if we don't get our primary objective, which some people want to say is complete, verifiable denuclearization, what is the alternative? Now, I would first of all argue that peace on the peninsula should be the primary must-have outcome, not CVID. That would be great. If that happens in many years from now, that would be super, but I think that you have to have peace on the ground first, and that will facilitate the potential for denuclearization. So if we seek peace first and then denuclearization second, then I think we actually have a shot at long-term success. And I've seen way too much destruction from war, and I have not seen it really accomplish anything in my lifetime for the United States, with the potential exception of Desert Storm. Certainly in the post-9/11 era, I think it's pretty safe to say that militarily we have not achieved outcomes beneficial to the United States. Our threat against terrorism is higher now than it's been since before 9/11 by a large stretch. You know, even the situation in Afghanistan, it's just a permanent, perpetual war without even the potential for end. Because in military terms, you have to, if you're sending military forces in somewhere, you should have an achievable, attainable military objective that's tied to political realities so that it has an end state that's even possible. Right now, none of that exists. There is no end state even articulated, so the only thing you can do is just continue having conflict. If we went into North Korea under any circumstances, most likely it's going to quickly deteriorate into an all-out war that's going to kill hundreds of thousands, probably millions. Now, you can say that because we have the greater resources, probably in time we would prevail over that, probably. But the cost would be catastrophic and just unimaginable, and we would be far worse, and we would be set back decades. Far better to say, let's take a step-by-step approach. Let's give some credibility and credence to the legitimate security needs of the other side, and then let's find out where we have common ground, build confidence step by step, and let's get to a situation where military force by either side isn't even on the table.